Saw the money and got activated. Saw the money and got activated. Saw that money and got activated. I saw that money and got activated. Canada Goose. Keep me wearing my cold city. I got a pole with me. Glock on 450.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are gonna start on the body filler slash body work portion of the build. So basically, it's hard to tell, the spots where I welded the body trim holes closed, I have to lay some Bondo down to level those out. There's some pinholes back here that need leveled out a little bit, or not pinholes but pitting. So got to take care of that on both sides of the truck. I believe there's a small ding over there, but aside from that, that's the only body work per se that we have to do on the truck. There's a small ding right here. There's a small ding. You can't see any of it because it's all white, but there's a small little dent here too, and there's a little bit of pitting on this side as well, but that's it. A small tip: if you take a flat black paint or whatever, if you kind of just lightly coat it on over the Bondo and then sand it down, it'll show you all your low spots. So if you're having troubles finding a dent or something, if you just throw a small little coat of flat black and then kind of scuff it up or sand it down, it'll show you those low spots that you can't find. But got our body filler here. I believe this is just your typical body filler. I'm gonna put a glaze coat over that because that stuff tends to not finish out as smooth as a glaze coat. So we're gonna put that coat on, get it nice and level and smooth, and then we're gonna put a glaze coat over that, which will be nice and finished. It won't have nearly as many air pockets and bubbles and stuff. So yeah, I guess we're gonna get into that. It's been a minute since I've laid some Bondo down on anything, so it will be interesting to see how it goes. But it's pretty hard to mess up, at least applying it. I would say the prep is probably the more important thing, because if you don't prep it right, it'll literally fall off in a year or so, or crack and peel. So we're gonna prep the panels. I'm gonna hit every area that we're laying Bondo down with 80 grit, so it has a nice good scratch coat to stick to, and then we'll go from there. Obviously we got to clean it nice and good, and yeah. I never did show this, but we did get these nice sanding blocks. So basically these are to get your panels nice and flat. Sanding with your hand or something's too small can cause waviness in panels and stuff, and you definitely don't want that. So I got this. It even has this cool little round bit. Not sure what these are yet, I have to look. And then it's got the little square panel pieces. It's got 2 of these. So probably gonna start out with this, and yeah, so just wanted to kind of show you guys that, because I know tools like this can save you from a lot of work and making mistakes. So I did get it on Amazon. I'm not sure what the part number is on it though, but they're just Durablock sanding blocks. So okay, so apparently these are hand soaps that they throw in. So that's pretty cool. I guess we'll have to give those a try. So you just do one of these kind of coats. Same with back here. Let that dry up a little bit. We're gonna do the same on the other side. And then this will show us, at least it should show us our low spots. I'm thinking. Okay guys, so I don't know if it got it in the last clip or not, but I was actually sanding over here, and this mother trucker right here, Cash, come tell him what you did. He took off, basically. I was right here, and then all I heard was like him take off, and I ran out here, and he's so fast, like it's insane. And I basically watched him go after a groundhog, is what it looked like. And so basically the shop, there's like shops all the way down, and then it hangs left. There's a freeway right here, and then there's like a big steel fence here, and then there's only a white picket fence along the freeway. He like slipped in between the steel fence, and I couldn't find him. I tried looking through the woods. I went up on the side of the freeway, and I like literally could not find him. I was freaking out. Like I was literally like really freaking out, because like 30 or 40 minutes had gone by and I still had not found him. Seth, my friend Seth, Corbin, they showed up. Thanks to them, like thanks a ton to them. They helped me look for him. Still couldn't find him. My girlfriend ended up showing up, but right when she got here, someone posted a picture of him on Facebook saying they picked him up on the side of the freeway and that he almost got hit by a car. Super scary, like probably the scariest thing I've ever experienced, because obviously I love my dog a lot and I would be very upset if something happened to him. So after that, I'm getting a GPS tracker on his collar because that was scary. And yes, oh man, I just realized how flat this tire is. How the heck? I must have ran over a screw or something, because this tire doesn't really leak air. We need to put air in that ASAP. But yeah, so that kind of ended the whole night of doing anything that day, and I think that was like 2 days ago. So now we keep the door closed because I could trust him. He's a super well-trained dog. Like, he will sit in the shop with me. He will not go out that door without me telling him to, but for some reason he just, all things went out the window at that point. So gonna start keeping the door closed. Might get him a longer leash that I can tie him up to, but I don't like the idea of really tying him up in the shop because I'm here for so long, and I already feel bad enough having him up here. And leaving at home obviously isn't an option either, because I'm not gonna leave my dog at my house while I'm out here. So yeah, so we're back on the body work. I did sand some more that night. We got this pretty much all the way down. There's one little divot right here that we didn't fill in enough, so I'm going to sand this down a little more right here, and then we'll lay some more on that. And then there's a couple little tiny pinholes up here that we didn't get, so we'll fill those in. These are coming out great. I honestly don't think I'm going to have to put a glaze coat on this. This Bondo laid out really smooth. There's no air bubbles in it. There's no pinholes in it. It's laying out really smooth. So I think that this layer of Bondo will be plenty. I don't think there's a reason to do the glaze coat like I had said. So it feels super even. I think this one's done with sanding right here. This one needs a little more work. You can feel it kind of being rough right here. And then this one feels really good, but I think it needs a little more work. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray that guide coat back on these, make sure they look nice and level and they're not wavy. And if I need to add more material on them or sand more material down, we will. We still have to lay Bondo on the other side, but I'll show you guys. So I laid that guide coat, and you'll see I didn't sand the whole guide coat off, but you'll see the low spots. So right here you can see clear as day, there's a circle, and that's an indentation. Another circle here, that's an indentation. Another circle here, that's an indentation. And another circle here, that's an indentation. So this needs to be filled, this needs to be filled, this and this. And then back here, you'll see all the pitting holes got, or you can see where they're, I didn't sand all the way back here yet, but you can see where this is all lower than the rest of the bed panel. This, I think right here, must have gotten hit. I don't think I'm gonna fill that in with Bondo. I'm not comfortable putting that much Bondo down, because it would probably need almost a 1/4 inch of Bondo, and I'm not gonna put a 1/4 inch of Bondo on this thing, so I'll probably end up straightening it out. I'm really not too worried about it because the taillight trim covers that. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with that yet, but we have to sand a little more over here, clean these sections, and then we're ready to lay Bondo on these, and then sand them down, and we'll be done with like body work. Like, I only have maybe an hour into the work over here, so that's super duper exciting. Like, so exciting, and such a relief because it's turning out super good. We still got to primer the roof, which isn't a big deal. Probably do that this probably not this week because I have to go house sit for my brother. But I might make a gun video. So I don't want to go super long on a tangent on this, but I just quickly wanted to get on here and say, so I've been thinking about doing a Glock build because I have Glock 17, and I'm definitely building it, but I want to know if that's something you guys would want to see on the channel. It's not a permanent thing. I'm not going to upload about it a bunch, but if that is something you guys would like to see or be slightly interested in, I will film it. But what I was saying is, this weekend I'm going to be shooting a bunch because my brother lives where you can shoot. So I might film film a video on, I don't know, me shooting this weekend. So but let me know in the comments if that's something you guys would watch, like a Glock build, and I'm talking like a full Glock build, not just put a wrap on it and be done. So but yeah, we're gonna dive right back into the body work on this thing, and yeah. Okay, so we got the everything sanded on this side as far as like the Bondo, and I threw a guide coat over it just to kind of see how paint levels out over top of it, because a coat of paint will really show you know, how level a panel is. Now you can see here the difference, and that's just the difference in the sanding grit that you can see right there. But the panel it appears really straight, but I'll know right away, because as soon as we take a sanding block over this, if this is higher than the rest of the panel, it'll knock that layer right off before it knocks this layer off. So did that front and back. I know that this is lower in the rear back here, that it needs filled a little more. And then we just finished prepping this side for Bondo, as you can see. So you see all the low spots here and here, and then this side doesn't need nearly as much as the other side. It's just this little like 4-inch section here. So we're gonna I want to prep that side as well before we mix up a batch of Bondo, and then we'll get right on that. Okay, so we just hit all of our spots with the sanding block, and everything sanded nice and even. Nothing like immediately went, you know, like there's no high spots. So basically this is ready for primer. We just gotta obviously go through the you know, 60 to 80 grit, and then primer it and stuff, and make sure it's covered nice and well. And then back here, everything went nice and level. We just have that one pinhole here that needs filled, and then there's a couple small pinholes up here, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. And we gotta lay some Bondo on that side. And if you have bad memory like me, I go through and circle every imperfection, so that way I know when I'm laying the Bondo down, I need to kind of just stay in here. I don't need to overdo it. That was the problem on the other side, is I put way too thick of a coat on that back part of the fender, and it took me forever to sand it down. But we're gonna mix up our Bondo now and get to work. Okay, so basically one mistake you guys don't want to make that I just made, which isn't necessarily a big deal because it didn't affect anything because I caught it in time, but you don't want to put too much hardener in because it will dry a lot quicker. You have a lot less time to put it down, and if you put it down when it's starting to get kind of hard, it'll like clump up and it just will not, it'll have a lot of like indentations and stuff in it. We got all of these done. They're not as sectioned off as I would like them to be, but I was in a rush because I noticed it started drying. Unfortunately, it all dried before we got back here, which isn't a big deal because this only takes a little bit, so we'll just make a small batch for that. We just wasted a crap ton, and it doesn't help that I was on the other side of the truck laying some Bondo over here too. But we got this area taken care of as well, and so I'm gonna make a batch real quick for that rear piece, and then we'll have to let this stuff dry. I don't know if we'll get to sand it tonight or not. The last thing you want to do is sand on it too soon because it'll just like clump up and like roll off the panel, and it just will not be, it won't be even and smooth at all. So I'm gonna make up a batch for this back corner real quick and lay that on. Got this laid back here. We're gonna wait for this stuff to set up and clean this shop up because it is a disaster. So catch up with you guys in a sec. Okay, so we got the shop cleaned up. It is a night and day difference. We are gonna clean this guy up when we get home. And so the Bondo is still setting up. It's probably good enough to sand on, but we're just gonna let it sit for however many days it is until we get back up here. Because like I said, I will be at my brother's house house sitting, so I won't be up here for 2 or 3 days. But I'm not going to sand it down in this video. I already sanded down on the other side, so there's really no reason to do all that. Plus, I'm sure you guys know how to sand down Bondo. Basically, you just sand it down until it's level and not wavy, and you call it a day. But I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I'm hoping I have some good news tomorrow. I will obviously put it in a video, but fingers crossed, if this good news happens, we could have this thing done like pretty freaking soon, a lot sooner than I was expecting. So yeah, but anyhow guys, that's gonna wrap up this video, and stay tuned for the next one. Deuces.
Mm-hmm.